Hello friends! Welcome back to Health Highlights, where I spend the time learning about all things health and bring you the highlights. In parts 1 and 2, we learned about the aging process and what we can do to slow this process so we can live longer, healthier. In part 3 today, we are going to discover Dr. Sinclair's work in actually reversing our age. Let's get started. Dr. Sinclair has reversed aging in his lab. He can epigenetically reprogram a mouse to cure a variety of ailments, including blindness and dementia. He controlled aging forwards and backwards in the brain and was able to give the mouse its memory back. Now that he understands how to do it, it is easy to control. Right now the treatment is gene therapy. For blindness, a quick eye injection introduces 3 embryonic genes into the retina and optic nerve. They are turned on for 3 to 8 weeks, and the age of the eye and those nerves will go backwards in time. They will be 75% or so younger. They will be rejuvenated and eyesight will return. No cancer has been detected yet. This is the biggest concern because if you take the body back too far, it can get a tumor and develop cancer, but that hasn't happened. They are using 3 embryonic genes called OSMK for short, and by using these, they don't go back too far. They think they are tapping into an ancient mechanism that other species use to grow new limbs to heal and regenerate their brain, like a salamander or jellyfish. Currently, Dr. Sinclair is treating primates to get their vision back. In 2024, human trials will begin. Dr. Sinclair chose the eye to study because it was an interesting challenge and gene therapies are already approved for the eye. He has rejuvenated the whole mouse: muscle, skin, hearing, spinal cord injury. He can regrow nerves in the eye and can hopefully regrow nerves in the spine. No cancer formed. He hasn't found any part of the body that doesn't respond to reprogramming or polishing the scratches. It will be useful for every branch of medicine: joints, immune system. Currently, he has to focus on one part of the body and fix it first because government regulators prefer that for safety. It should be possible to rejuvenate the whole body in the future. Maybe it doesn't even take gene therapy. You just take a course of pills. In animals, if you rejuvenate the body and make it younger, diseases of old age go away. In mice with Alzheimer's disease, when making the brain young, the disease goes away. This should be true for all age-related diseases. Aging doesn't ever change, and diseases, once you have them, are very hard to stop. This is wrong in Dr. Sinclair's view. We are going to be in a world that by turning the body back a couple decades, diseases that were once incurable will go away. Mice that were blind from glaucoma and old age took 4 weeks after their eyes were reprogrammed for their eyes to be young again, and this is a permanent reset. They could see just like young mice again because their eyes were young again. That is the future. Don't treat the disease, treat the cause. Make the body repair itself like it was 20 years old again. Dr. Sinclair believes that modern medicine needs an overhaul. Doctors classify diseases based on how they look at the end of the process. The real underlying process is aging, and this root cause of disease has been ignored. It isn't good enough to stick band-aids on diseases after they've occurred. It is already too late. We need to get ahead of it and address the root cause of aging itself. Aging is a medical condition. Just because it is common doesn't mean it isn't a medical condition. If it were classified this way, doctors could prescribe some relatively cheap medicines to help prevent aging and keep people healthier for 5 to 10, maybe more years longer. Now doctors don't even conceive that aging is something worth talking to the patients about, or that it is even malleable. Before a doctor's appointment, Dr. Sinclair would like to see patients stick on a patch that is disposable, that will monitor them 1,000 times per second for all sorts of measurements, movement, speech, heart, EKG, temperature, motion, depression, and more. And that data will be fed into the doctor's computers for the doctor to review and see if anything is potentially wrong. This monitoring would start a week before your appointment. You would also receive a mouth swab at home to send in, and by the time you went in for your appointment, you will be told your biological age. Some people are 10 years older or younger than their actual age. Those that are older would have the doctor discuss lifestyle changes and medications to help lower their age. Dr. Sinclair recommends staying on top of your health and labs to help prevent disease instead of treat it after it happens. Feedback helps keep people motivated to change or keep doing what is working. Dr. Sinclair started Inside Tracker 12 years ago. It tracks 43 things like liver health, inflammation, blood, heart, muscle, and stress. It puts your results into an algorithm and gives out recommendations on how to optimize your body. Dr. Sinclair has kept his biomarkers in the green zone for the last 10 years. Aging begins at conception. If you measure the biological clock based on the epigenome, those scratches, the chemicals that are on the DNA, that process begins the moment we are conceived. Living an extra 15 years of life is easy. If you don't smoke, don't drink, eat the right things, eat less, get good sleep, don't stress out, do exercise, you'll get an extra 15 years. On top of that, many supplements and medications can add more years on. Age reversal technology just discovered could change everything. If we do the right things, we should be able to live to 100. Why not live to 120? If the people that live to 120 did all the right things, why couldn't they live to 130, 140, or even 150? Dr. Sinclair says, a person that is going to live to 150 has already been born. Some people worry that if everyone lives to the age of 150, what would the world look like? Do we have enough resources? Dr. Sinclair uses the analogy that if you ask someone in the 1800s in London what their city would look like with the population tripled, they would have said it would be a mess. Horse poop everywhere, causing disease. This doesn't happen though because we engineered our way out and scienced our way out of it. Cholera was stopped. There are no more horses on the road, no more child labor, and sanitation was created. Even if there are more people, we can live with much less impact on Earth. We're already looking into alternative power. Dr. Sinclair predicts that we will level out at 10 billion people. Then the Earth's population will start to come down. Developing countries are already coming down. Africa is slowing the rate of population growth. Europe, America, and Australia are negative. Money will be better spent too. Instead of using it on keeping people alive in nursing homes, we could spend that money on solving problems like climate change and education. Dr. Sinclair is trying to overcome humans' desire for sedentary lifestyle and consumption and laziness. We evolved this way because it conserves energy. We enjoy sitting around. We enjoy eating. Conserving energy is important if you're going through feast and famine. If you're always in feast and you don't have to exercise and your suitcase has wheels on them, you live in a world that is going to kill you or accelerate your aging. We love eating sweet things, watching movies, eating fat. That is what our brain responds to. But that is just dopamine. That's not what is good for us in today's world. The reason we are in such trouble is that we are in a capitalistic society, and they want to sell us more stuff. They know what gets us excited. They know what will raise our dopamine and make us respond on our phones, and create food that is perfect at setting those triggers off. Ketchup is the perfect food for making you feel comfort and stimulating your dopamine. High fructose corn syrup? One of the worst foods you can eat. Governments find it hard to regulate this capitalistic force. Their point of view is that markets will determine what is best for the customer and the population. But clearly, this isn't always the case. Dr. Sinclair believes you should consciously think about your death every day, or the last 10 minutes before you die. Will you have regrets? Will you be surrounded by family? What will people say about you when you are gone? Dr. Sinclair thinks about that a lot. In your 20s, you don't even think about your future. It is so far away. In your 50s, you can see that your days are numbered. There is a Jewish saying, live your life like it is your last, but live it with the optimism that you will live forever. Be excited, but realistic that you may not be here tomorrow. So tell your loved ones that you love them. Make the most of every day. Work hard on what you find passion in. Be energetic. If you do take control of your life, eating the right things, doing the right things, you will naturally be more optimistic about your future and every morning you wake up. We all have choice and have the option to live longer, healthier. If you don't want to do it for yourself, do it for your kids. It's not that hard. Eat less often. Eat the right foods. Move a little bit. Try to lift a few weights or do yoga or Pilates. Easy things. Stop smoking. Keep alcohol to a minimum. We can live years and decades longer. If you are interested in learning more, you can get Dr. Sinclair's book, Lifespan: Why We Age and Why We Don't Have to. I will include a link in the description bar below. Thank you for coming along on our health journey together. Let me know in the comments what you do to live longer, healthier. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss any health highlights. Until next time, here's to health.